saw everything, he who knew everything. He stood 7 cubits high, 2/3 of him was God, 1/3 of him was man. He was the most glorious of heroes, the most eminent of men. His name was Gilgamesh, and Enkidu was his friend. The city of Gilgamesh is Uruk of the high walls, the most splendid of all the 7 cities of Sumer. Its towering walls protect it from all sorts of evils, the armies of enemy kings, floods, wild beasts, and unfriendly gods. But most of all, the walls protect it from the monster Umbaba, who lives in a nearby mountain and breathes fire, smoke, and soot into the sky. On a certain morning, a group of elders of the city mount to the very highest level of the walls. There they meet in secret with a number of the most powerful gods.
Oh, Father, knew we have come to complain.
It's about Gilgamesh the king.
He continues to build the city walls higher and higher. Yet who is in need of such high walls?
It has become a heavy burden. We want to rest.
Mothers no longer see their sons, nor fathers either for that matter.
Our girls languish without companions. Marriages have ceased.
We do nothing but build, build, build.
Wine sellers cannot sell their wines.
The musicians are idle. There is no joy in the streets.
There's no business and no leisure.
We ourselves rather like the high walls.
We often come and linger here at night to watch the goings-on of mortals. It's very entertaining.
Father knew you must help us.
You must punish Gilgamesh.
What do you want me to do? Do you want me to throw rocks at heaven at the king? Go away. I like Gilgamesh. He's an upright king and perfectly fearless. I've heard that he wrestles with lions and tames them with his bare hands, and I have also heard that he is partly himself God. If the king wants to build the city walls higher, let him. Let us not tamper too much in the affairs of these human beings.
Oh, Father, listen to them. I will not see my mothers bereft of their sons or wives of their husbands.
Indeed, perhaps you will listen to our plan, for we have one we know will work.
It is this. We want you to create a man.
A man even taller than Gilgamesh.
And more powerful.
A wild beast of a man.
Who will come to earth here,
Who will show his mighty strength.
And attack the king.
And destroy him.
God's tank council. So let it be done. Betty.
What's wrong, my son? You seem full of fear.
Oh, Father, there's a strange man in the forest. He is a terrifying sight, and his strength is like that of the hosts of heaven. He filled the pits that I had dug to snare the wild animals. He broke open my traps and freed the animals.
Calm yourself, son. Shadows in the woods have frightened you.
His hair springs out of his head in masses like a field of grain. He has the horns of a wild beast.
If he stole your cat, my son, why didn't you stop him?
Because he is taller and more powerful than Gilgamesh the king. He is mighty in power, like a fighter of Anu. I was numbed with fear.
If what you say is true, my son, then we must report the matter to the king. O Gilgamesh, a man that comes from the land, the hills, has become strong indeed in the land. He robs the hunter of his game and disperses the shepherd's flocks. He is mighty in power, like a fighter of Anu, and he tends all who see him numb with fear. Indeed, I've heard that he is taller and more powerful than Gilgamesh, the king.
Bring us Harim, the priestess who serves the goddess Ishtar. Harim, I have a certain task for you. It is one that turns the boldest hunters numb with fear.
Then I'm afraid.
This is not a girl's task, O king. This is a task for a brave man, a hero.
A girl is full of smiles and charms. Go, Harim, soften the heart of the wild man and bring him back to the city.
I gaze upon you, Enkidu. You are like like a god. Come, I will lead you into Uruk of the Walls, to a pure house and the dwelling of Anna and Ishtar, where lives Gilgamesh. Majesty might like a wild bull lords over his people.
Oh, Harim, what have I done? I've made all my friends into strangers. See, they flee from me. Why did they run?
Enkidu is no longer a wild creature. Enkidu is no longer a beast in the forest. Enkidu is now a man and will live among men. You have eaten bread, Enkidu, the glory of life. You have drunk wine, Enkidu, the custom of the land.
Enkidu, the wild man approaches. Let us guard the king.
Your help would only shame him. The king will subdue him.
Whatever happens is the will of the gods.
The battle is done. Our king stands victorious.
I salute you, Gilgamesh, as one matchless. Over all men is his head lifted up, and Enlil has allotted to you supremacy over mankind.
Welcome to my city, O godlike Enkidu. I have had a dream that cast a dark shadow over your coming. But now all is well. Let us pledge eternal friendship. Day and night I dream of a great enterprise. And now I know that you are sent to help me. Whenever I close my eyes, voices come to me and say, arouse yourself, Gilgamesh. There are great things to be done. You and I, Enkidu, will climb the mountain and destroy the monster Humbaba.
Who'd undertake such a daring enterprise? I knew the presence of Humbaba when I was a wild man. His bellow is storm, his mouth is fire, and his face is death. I do not fear beast or mortal man. But O Gilgamesh, Humbaba is not mortal. He's a appointed servant of the gods, the guardian of the wild cows and cedar forest. And has set him there. And whoever goes near and draws faith, he suddenly becomes paralyzed.
But he is everlasting evil. He oppresses the people and is hated by the great god Shamash, constantly obscuring his face. Oh, Enkidu, shall my life be as empty as the wind? What am I if I turn aside from the things I want to do? But if I do this thing, even though I should fail, then they will say, Gilgamesh died a hero's death, and I will have made an everlasting name for myself. Come now, Enkidu, let us do this deed.
O king, do not undertake this thing.
You are young and full of pride. Your heart has carried you away.
Sit down, O king, rule and take a bribe.
Let your life be tranquil.
Save your counsel for my friend Enkidu. He'll listen. He has grown soft and timid here in the luxurious kingdom. He no longer loves daring or adventure. You waste your words on me. I will go alone.
If the king stubbornly insists on doing this thing, risking danger and defying the gods, then Enkidu, you must accompany him.
Indeed, you must go ahead of him, for it is known that the first one to enter the cedar gate will be the first one to be attacked by Humbaba.
Besides, it is you who knows the way, Enkidu.
May Shamash stand beside you.
May he open the path for you.
Oh, Enkidu, even if you're not my own son, you are now like a son to me. I shall petition the gods for you and Gilgamesh. But please remember, as a man protects his own person, so must he guard the life of his friend.
Praise be to Gilgamesh, who dares everything. Praise be to Enkidu, who will safeguard his friend.
May your feet carry you safely back to the city, Enkidu.
My head is bowed, O king. I am your servant, your brother, and your friend. Wherever you go, I will go also.
Oh, Shamash, listen to me. Oh, Shamash, why have you given my son Gilgamesh such a restless heart? Why have you made him so eager for adventures? Now he is off to fight the indestructible monster Humbaba. Why have you put the idea in his head? Why have you sent him to fight the evil that you abhorred? May you never sleep, O Shamash, until Gilgamesh and his friend Enkidu returns to Uruk. If they don't return, may you never sleep again.
Within 3 days' time, we have covered the distance that would take ordinary men 15 days to walk. And here lies the cedar gate.
We must pour meal upon the earth here, for that will gain us the goodwill of the gods. Let us open the gate, Enkidu. Let us be on our way.
Gilgamesh, wait, my hand is paralyzed.
Put it on my arm, Enkidu. It will take strength from my arm, because I am not afraid.
Who dares invade the sea before King Derek to challenge the servant of the gods? These who are noble heroes, singing the city of wonderful battle and in victory. Terrible will be your reckoning with the gods of this season.
Will the gods shine a great deed such as this?
But wait, I'm prepared to forgive you. I will take you as my husband and set you among the stars. I will petition the gods to forgive you as your husband, and Ishtar you will be above reproach.
Save your threats, great Ishtar. I am not afraid. Enkidu and I have done a good thing. We have freed the people from a great terror. We earn honor for ourselves and our people. We need no favors.
Your chariot will do of gold.
I need no chariot, O Ishtar. My friend and I will be carried by the grateful crowd.
As my husband, O Gilgamesh, kings will bow down before you.
Poets will sing our praise and our deeds will be known throughout the ages.
Where your arrogance, Gilgamesh, the goddess Ishtar does not offer love carelessly.
I know about your love. It does not last very long. All those you have loved, you have cast aside.
O Father, no, I will have vengeance, and you must help me. The mortals Gilgamesh and Enkidu have desecrated the cedar forest, and Gilgamesh has insulted me. The goddess, I ask you to create the bull of heaven. It will descend into the city earth, it will trample the people, it will gore and kill Gilgamesh.
Oh, Ishtar, my daughter, how strong is your anger? Perhaps you deserve those insults.
I will have my revenge, Father.
Great Anu, powerful Enlil, ear of the deep waters, hear me. It was I who sought the destruction of Umbaba. To the mortal people whom I love, to the brave. I planted the idea in the brave heart of Gilgamesh. Who else could have destroyed the monster but Gilgamesh and his noble friend?
O Shamash, seeing that you go out each day to shed your light upon the human race, why don't you go down and join them? Are you God or mortal? Why should you turn to us to protect them?
O Father, may create the bull of heaven. As we rise, I will smash down the doors of the underworld and release the dead into the land of the living.
Your will prevails.
Woe to Gilgamesh who has dishonored my name. Woe to Enkidu who has killed the bull of heaven. You have not seen it. You have not seen the end of my revenge.
O great Shamash, accept my prayers of gratitude, my thanks for your protection, for otherwise my friend and I would surely have been killed.
Gilgamesh! Oh, Gilgamesh, my dreams are full of threats and omens. The gods agreed that I should die.
Enkidu, listen, I would not let them take you. Haven't we done all things together? I would sit by the gates of the underworld and never move until they released you. Go to sleep, my friend, and have no fear.
A god has cursed me, my friend. I will not be in noble death and great adventure. As for me, I will die in my bed.
Enkidu, what kind of sleep is this that has seized upon you? You have been seized by darkness. Your ears do not hear me, your eyes do not see me. Enkidu, remember how we did all things together and how the people greeted us after our adventures. Remember, Enkidu, hear me, Enkidu.
Is there no comfort for our king?
Let us perform the rites and ceremonies.
Enkidu, Enkidu. Oh, Nansen, what fate has overtaken my friend Enkidu? He did not die in battle. No disease attacked him. He did not die of venerable old age. The earth reached up and seized him. Mother, will I too die? Will I too turn to clay?
In time, Gilgamesh, all people die. Well, except for the one who lives on.
Even I, mother, whom two parts God. And what of the one who lives on?
One part of you is man, and that part must die. Our ancestor, Unapishtim, is the one who lives on and does not die. They say no one knows where his kingdom lies.
I'll find him. I'll learn from him the secret of life and death.
Our ancestor, Unapishtim, is the... Wait. Our ancestor, Unapishtim, lives somewhere beyond the bitter river. But you know well, my son, that that no one living can cross that river. It is death itself. Stay here, my son.
I'll find him. I'll find him if it takes every day of the rest of my life.
It is not known how many weeks, days, and nights Gilgamesh walked. He crossed deserts and rocky places and came in time to the edge of the world. Before him loomed the mighty mountains of Mashu.
Can these be the mountains whose peaks reach into the heavens and whose feet reach below the bottom of the earth? Can this be the bank of the sun, the edge between day and night? Is this the mountain guarded by the terrible scorpion men, whose radiance blinds one, and whose look is death?
Who comes here? Is he God or man?
2/3 of him is God, 1/3 of him is man.
Why is it that you've come here on such a long and torturous journey?
Oh, I have lost my friend Enkidu, my companion. The earth reached up and seized him, and I seek Utnapishtim, my ancestor. He was once a mortal man, but he entered the assembly of the gods. From him I shall learn the secret of life and death.
Oh, Gilgamesh, no one has ever done this thing. Deep are the caverns that lie under the mountain, those very caverns to which the sun travels on its way back to the eastern garden.
At first, the cold is unbearable.
In the middle, the heat is unbearable.
At a distance of 8 leagues, the heart beats.
At a distance of 9 leagues, the mind fails.
Turn back, Gilgamesh.
Even if my heart fails, I will go on. In here or cold, I will go on. Sighing or weeping, I will go on.
Then go, Gilgamesh. We will open the gates for you.
After 10 leagues, the end was near. After 11 leagues, the dawn light appeared. At the end of 12 leagues, the sun streamed out. Before him lay the eastern garden, the grove of the gods.
Oh, great Shamash, the darkness has gone from my eyes. Let me only gaze at you. Let me be filled with your light.
How have you found this place? Your face is haggard and worn. Your body is thin and frail. Your clothes are ragged.
Oh, I have lost my friend Enkidu. The earth reached up and seized him, and I weep for him day and night. O great Shamash, I seek Utnapishtim, my ancestor. He is a mortal man. He was once a mortal man, but he entered the assembly of the gods, and now he is immortal. From him I shall learn the secret of life and death.
Why do you run hither and thither, Gilgamesh? The life you seek you will never find.
Tell me then, O great Shamash, shall the one who has died rest his head forever underneath the earth? Shall he sleep forever and never again see the light? And must I too die?
Why should you waste your young years this way? Stay here, beside me. Live in this garden where there is no grief and no memory.
In your travels across the sky, O great Shamash, you must see all things. Tell me how to find my ancestor in the place of the immortals.
In that direction, you will find Sabitu, the wide maiden. She will tell you the way to go. But remember, Gilgamesh, what you seek has never been done.
Help! Some stranger has made his way to this secret place. Surely it's the salvage will harm me.
Please do not fear. I am Gilgamesh, king of Uruk. I have come for your help and will do you no harm.
If you are truly a king, why are you so wan and pale? Your face is full of pain.
I have lost my friend. The earth reached up and seized him, and I seek Utnapishtim, my immortal ancestor. He can tell me the secret of life and death, and where my friend has gone, and whether I too must die.
Ah, Gilgamesh, the life you seek you'll never find.
Only tell me the path to Sabitu. The rest I will carry out.
Deep are the waters, Gilgamesh, and who has tried has not yet made the crossing. For ahead of you now lies the bitter river, whose waters are death. Listen, Gilgamesh, when the gods created mankind, they allotted death to mankind, but life they retained in their own keeping. Rest here, O king, let your garments be made clean, let your heart find peace. Eat and drink, rejoice and take life, such is the life the gods have allotted to mankind.
I must go on to Sabitu. Just point the direction.
That way lies the bitter river. On the shore you'll find an ancient boat and a ferryman, Ushinabi. Only he can show you the way, but no living man has ever set him.
Is anyone here? Ushinabi? Ferryman?
Halt! Who dares the hands of both of Utnapishtim?
Oh, Ferryman, I am exhausted beyond endurance. I have crossed the mountains of Mashu and walked under the very foundation of the earth. And here cold I have come, sighing and weeping. I seek Utnapishtim, my immortal ancestor. I have come this far. You are the only one who stands between me and my goal.
No living being has ever crossed these waters, young man. Born is the water. I wonder, but if it is your will to cross, you must do exactly as I say. We use these pools to push our way across. We must proceed carefully, but even so much as one drop of water enters the boat or touches your flesh, you will die. Do you see what's crossed?
I have not come this far to turn back.
I see the boat approaching, but the ferryman is not alone. Come and tell me who is he who rides in the boat, Ushinabi.
It is a young man not different from you and me. His body is thin, and he looks pale and wan. I have come to these shores seeking my immortal ancestor, Utnapishtim.
He stands before you now, and your eyes gaze upon him.
Utnapishtim. I look upon you at last, Utnapishtim. Your face is not different from mine. I had thought to find you a mighty warrior. But no, you are a mortal man, much like any other. I am Gilgamesh, king of Uruk, and you are my ancestor. I have come on a long and terrifying journey to find you and ask you a question.
And you do not look much like a king. You have no right to come here, you, a mortal man. The fair man shall be punished.
I beg you to listen to my words. I had a friend, dear to me than a brother. Day and night we shared all things both great and small. Then death came to Enkidu. The earth reached up and seized him, and I wait for him day and night. I have been told, Utnapishtim, that you alone know the secret of life and death. So tell me now, shall the one who has died rest his head forever? Shall Enkidu never again see the face of the sun? And must I too die?
Do we build a house to last forever? Does the sun stay in the sky forever? Do not the flowers fade? When the gods gather, O Gilgamesh, they decree the destiny of men. The days of life they measure out, but the days of death they do not measure.
Then tell me now, Utnapishtim, how you came to dwell among the immortals. Were you like me, 2 parts god and 1 part man?
It was many, many years ago. I lived in a place called Shurpak, a city already old and full of vices. The people of the place found nothing but pleasure, spent all their time arguing, shouting, scheming, and protesting. Carrying on like this, they raised commotion, and a loud noise rose to heaven and disturbed the gods. Particularly the god Enlil.
You're making too much noise down there. I don't like it. I cannot sleep.
What do you propose to do about it?
I've conceived a plan whereby I can destroy all the people on earth and thus get some rest. I'll call forth a mighty storm that will wipe out mankind, a deluge that will drown every living thing. The earth is my domain, and even he is under my command. Reveal my plan to no mortal man. No one is to survive.
It is true that no god spoke to me, but one night while I was asleep, I heard the voice like the splashing of many waters outside my hut. It seemed to be speaking to my little hut.
Read hut, law, listen. Let the man inside tear down his house. Let him build a ship to save his life from the storm. Let him take onto the ship the seeds of every living thing, creeping things, flying things, domestic creatures, and wild beasts, his wife and daughters as well.
So when I awoke, my hut spoke to me. I tore down my home and built a ship. I prayed to my lord Eon, whose waters I would sail. What shall I say to the people of Shurpak, who will surely laugh me to scorn?
Say to them, the god Enlil is displeased with me, therefore I will go dwell upon the waters of Eon.
So then I laid the kiln and constructed the framework, and when all was ready, I loaded the boat with seeds of every kind of animals. And at last I boarded with my wife and daughters. The tempest came over the land. The thunder and lightning were fierce. Darkness came. The water roared over the land. For 6 days and nights the storm blew. The gods watched terrified.
Oh, Enlil, why did I not oppose you in the assembly of the gods? My children now lie like dead fish in the sea.
When the 7th day came and the storm abated, I opened the window and looked about. I released a dove. She flew round and round, but she came back, but there was no place where she could land. After some time, I sent out a swallow. It too returned, but there was mud on its feet. In due time, I sent out a crow. She flew this way and that. She found food and place to land. She did not return. Then I knew the waters were receding. Then I felt the boat took solid ground, and in a few days we could step onto the ground. I poured wine into the barrel and burned the fragrant herbs with cedar, cane, and myrtle. The gods smelled the odor and gathered around.
What? Has a mortal escaped? No one must have lived through the destruction.
Oh, Enlil, how could you do this thing? You might have punished those you did wrong. You might have sent wolves and lions those you sent you. You might have wiped out some of the people. But why should you destroy mankind?
Never again will I do such a terrible deed. Come forth and I will receive my blessing. Hitherto, Utnapishtim, you and your wife shall be like unto us gods. You shall be immortal and dwell upon the starting place of the waters.
So you see, it was God that interceded for me. But who will intercede for you, O Gilgamesh? Who will call together a meeting of the gods for you? Who will grant you the life you seek? Asleep? Don't you know that it's rude to sleep as the story is told? See how he nods. Waken him, wife, and let him go back along the way he came. Remember, wife, how deceitful are the ways of mortals. I must prove to this one that he is not fit to dwell among us. Go deny that he has slept. Go, bake loaves of bread for him each day, and lay them at his head.
I am sorry to have nodded off for a moment. I was sleeping. Only an instant.
Then count your loaves, young man. A fresh one has been baked for you each day. The first is fresh and still warm, but the second is cold. The third is stale, and the fourth is hard. The fifth is cracked and dry, the sixth is black, and the seventh has begun to mold.
Oh, Napishtim, where shall I go now? Numbness grasps at my limbs, and the earth holds my feet, and wherever I flee, death is there.
Go, ferry him back from whence he came. As for you, Shinabi, you have disgraced the crossing the land of death. It is short on your way. You may never be seen here again.
O husband, the young man has suffered much pain and hardship, only to see you and talk to you. How can we send him off like this? What will you give him from this place so that he may return to his city in honor?
Gilgamesh, I will tell you a secret of the gods. At the bottom of this river grows a weed that bears a flower with the fragrance of a rose. Like a rose, it has sharp thorns that can pierce skin. Nevertheless, if any mortal can grasp this weed, take some morsel of it, youth will return to him. As the springtime returns to the earth, this secret I send with you on your way.
Shinabi, we shall find the weed and pull it loose. We will return to Uruk of the Walls together and share it among the aged of the city so that they will regain their youth and strength.
Beware, Gilgamesh. This is a trap for your weary heart. You will be overcome by a bitter water. O king, come, let the weed stay where it grows.
But if I can grasp the weed, it will restore my strength and life. Take the boat out, Shinabi, and wait for me. At last! Oh, I had forgotten my manners. You have helped me, and you should have the first bite. Shinabi, for whom all my blood is spent, for a snake, for an earth prowler, all my magic weed, all my flower, who will bring it back to me from underneath the earth?
Let us go to your city. I'm no longer tired. My limbs are light and my back is straight.
Bite me. Marquis!
Behold, Shinabi, is it not the most noblest of cities? Look out over the full extent of the city. See how it is arranged. Observe its marvelous walls. Judge for yourself, was it not laid out by the 7 wise men?
Oh, we greet you with joy, O king.
What new adventures have you had?
What deeds will you add to your glory?
What sights did you see?
Here is your mother who has wept bitter tears for you.
There is much to tell. But first, I still must find my friend. He was lost to me, and there will be no rest until I find him. Oh, great Shamash, listen to me. Gilgamesh weeps day and night for his friend. How can I make my way to him?
I cannot tell, for all my ways are the ways of light, and I know nothing of the darkness.
Oh, Father Anna, listen to me. Gilgamesh weeps day and night for his friend. How can I make my way to him? Oh, Sin, listen to me. Gilgamesh weeps day and night for his friend. How can I make my way to him? Oh, Ea, listen to me. Gilgamesh weeps day and night for his friend. How can I make my way to him?
Gatekeeper, Gilgamesh wishes to speak with his friend Enkidu again. Lead Enkidu's shadow out from the northwestern side of the earth. Lead Enkidu's shadow up out of the earth. Follow this gatekeeper if you wish to see your friend again.
Enkidu, I have searched for you through rivers and mountains. No rest have I had since the day you left me. Gatekeeper, my friend Enkidu did not fall in battle. No disease attacked him. He did not die of venerable old age. The earth reached up and seized him. The underworld took him in the prime of his youth. Therefore, release him. Let him return with me to Uruk of the Walls, so that he may live out his days as a hero.
O Gilgamesh, it is decreed that the dead may not join the living may only join the dead.
Now that I have found you, Enkidu, never will we be parted again.
Come, my friend. The place is dark and cheery, but we have been reunited.
Then our friendship will light the way and bring light and shadow to the darkness. Never will we be parted again.
Behold the walls of Uruk. This was the work of Gilgamesh the king. He was wise. He saw mysteries and knew secret things. He went on a long journey, and when he returned, brought back a story from the days before the flood. The whole story is engraved here on stone so that all generations might know that his destiny was fulfilled.
The end.
The end.
Thank you so much for coming, everybody. There's a potluck also out here, so be sure and stop by. Yeah, thanks again. They worked really hard on this, so we appreciate you coming. Have a wonderful evening.